Sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow.
Frank Lee, homie.
I'm only sipping it slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Take a sip, I bet it get you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's trip, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Only helping you grow. Tell you things that you need to hear, not only things you wanna know. Keeping you up on your current events, I swear the world's so cold. Talking about marriage and sports too. Man, you gotta catch the show. You better believe me. Got Allen T. Weezy, J. Marks and that JT, make it look easy. Whenever they speaking about any topic, if I spoke about it, I was really about it. Ain't no front, I was real about it. In my white cup, it got hen inside it. It's a message for everybody. Now I'm only sipping it slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Take a sip, I bet it get you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's trip, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow.
This is the Sip Slow podcast, where we help ourselves as well as others. Raw, real, and uncut audio work weekly. I'm your host, Mr. Money Don't Sleep, so T Weezy can't rest.
This your boy JT.
This your boy Al.
This your boy J Mark, aka Duke.
AKA Duke. On today's episode, we will talk about does a man respect a woman that lets him have sex on the first night? The Breonna Taylor verdict. We will also discuss a video showing that a woman was tased at a football game for not wearing a mask. We have a listener email question, and then we will get into the sports. And we'll follow that up with what did we learn today. So, fellas, first off, what y'all sipping on?
Orange juice.
Me, I'm just sipping on some water with a little vitamin C powder in it, so I guess it's kind of like orange juice.
Man, I'm on some Aniquifa. That's Aquafina backwards, man. That OJ.
All right.
No
Okay.
OJ this week.
Okay. Man, I'm sipping on some whiskey. I ain't gonna say the brand because we ain't getting paid by them. So, little whiskey, a little cranberry juice. First off, man, I want to say happy anniversary to my wife. Happy wedding anniversary. 7 years to be exact. Just want to let you know I love you. And as we recording this, our anniversary is today. So the weekend, we really just chilled out and, spend time with one another. Al, what you do this weekend?
Well, first I want to say salute to you and your wife for the 7th anniversary. That's a beautiful thing. Let's start there first.
Appreciate it.
Me, it wasn't. It was just a busy working weekend. So I actually worked, so I didn't do nothing fun. So I'm gonna let y'all handle that part.
I just want to say happy anniversary to you, G, you and your wife. And I just got to chill, relax a little bit, and watch a little college football.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna follow Cuz. I'm gonna follow Jason. Happy anniversary. It was a good weekend, man. Real chill, real laid back. Just low key weekend. But happy anniversary to you and my cousin. Blessings to y'all, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. We gonna Gonna kick it off with this free game by yours truly. Man, don't let nobody play you out of your position. You stick to what you know, your morals. You stick to the code, and don't let the devil get you out because a lot of times we let outside factors take us out of our game. So, like I say, don't let nobody play you out of your position. That's free game for the day from your boy T Weezy. What y'all think about that, fellas?
That's nice, man. That's nice.
For sure. For
For
sure.
sure.
That's good game, baby. That's good game.
Already. So
Respect.
we're gonna jump in this first topic. You know, does a man respect a woman that lets him have sex on the first night? JT, talk to the people.
I say no with that. I wouldn't respect a woman if I got on the first night. You know, just my opinion.
Okay. Okay,
I would have to
Al.
say, yes, sir. I would have to say, I agree with Jason. There's no respect for a woman that let me take it there on the first night. That means she doesn't have any respect for herself, and she probably done this a few times. So this is probably something she's normally doing, and that's not somebody I want to deal with on a serious level, anyway.
I'm I'm gonna give y'all a different side, a different look on it, and not to be different, but normally a man is not gonna respect a woman if they mess around the first night. He not really gonna take her serious. But there are cases where, I mean, the chemistry, everything is flowing, and it happens, and it could be rare for both parties. You know, I know people that have been married, and they messed around on the first night. So, uh, I see it from both ways. But me personally, uh, now I'm not gonna take you too serious, man. If you willing to do that with me, you willing to do that with anybody. So that's a no.
Duke, you kind of stole my thunder right there a little bit. But I was just thinking, just to answer the question, no, but when we grown, we can do grown folks things. And if we vibing like that, it might just be a one time thing. Like Duke said, it might not be something that, both parties have ever done. But maybe the chemistry was just thrown like that. But like I said, to answer the question, no. But man, we grown, and things can happen. Now I do feel like probably the percentage of people that do that on the first day, the chances of y'all building something is probably slim, but that doesn't mean that it cannot happen.
Right.
So uh also, how long do you expect to wait to have sex with a new woman, Jason?
And Jay, what you think? How long you think?
Well, Al, what you
Hmm.
think about that?
Hey, that's a good question, T. Man, I really couldn't put a time frame on it. I guess it's relative. It depends on, you know.
Well, let me rephrase it then.
Okay.
What's the time limit that you would feel that you respect her and take her seriously?
Okay. Like,
You know,
hmm.
y'all been kicking it.
Hmm.
Y'all got chemistry. Y'all trying to be together, whatever. So we already established that the first night is no respect. So
Okay.
we're at in this time frame that you like, okay, I respect her. Uh, this is a good enough time. We waited each other out. We didn't got to know each other. When do you think that's appropriate to bring sex into the relationship?
Nice. Okay. Okay. That's a make it a little bit easier. Still kind of tough question, but as for me, I would say, after about a month, if I ain't feeling her in that sense, I don't think it's that serious yet, then I'm probably wasting her time and mine, and I don't have time to be wasting. So I think about a month, if we ain't feeling each other on that level, we could just remain friends or just go our separate ways and keep it moving.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, Al. That's a nice little take. Me, and man, some call me Casanova, some call me Fabio, some call me some call me a lot of things. My boy T called me Seven C's,
Yes.
man. But I'm not no love expert, but I use a little old school wisdom and game. I don't really want to put a time frame on that, you know. I don't want to just say how long but because things could flow. But as a man don't want anything that he feel everybody can have. So with that being said,
Talk.
ladies, take your time. Take your
Mm.
time. Gentlemen, take your time. Learn of that person. Learn their ways. Learn what they like. See how they was raised. See if y'all compatible for the long run. That sex, it's gonna come. It's gonna be icing on the cake. But as for me, you know, I'm not gonna take you serious. I'm gonna look at you a little different if you just really willing to jump in the bed with me. That's just my opinion. It may be 2 weeks, it may be a month, it may be 2 months, but I'm gonna respect you if you take me longer. If you
Oh,
if you have that stance, if you say, okay, hey, or if I touch you or I approach you or something, and I'm getting a little frisky or something, and you had that stance, and you're like, nah, baby, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be after you then, because I'm not going after that fleshly thing. You know what I'm saying? You making me learn who you are. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just coming from me, your boy J Marks, dude. Take your time, man. Go take it back to the old school days where you court, you get to know somebody, you respect them, you go out on dates, and the bed is just gonna be a bonus when that time comes.
hmm. Okay. J Mox. You know, the great songwriter Tupac said that I don't want it if it's that easy. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
He said he don't want it if it's that easy. So that's meaning that the average man, he want to work for something. Uh, when you just coming up like that, coming off of it like that, it's just not a good look. So the question was, how long do you expect to wait? You know, it's really not a set time period, but I would at least start at a month, at least a month. We got to at least start right there. And anything after that, it's just making it even better and making you feel a more connection with the lady because if y'all kicking it like you supposed to, but y'all not bringing the physical in it, now y'all getting to know each other. You getting to learn this person, what's their beliefs, how they feel about certain things, and in today's world, it seems like that step gets overlooked. Just like last week we spoke on the Cardi B and Offset situation. Well, here these are two people that's just got together, baby, married, and you got to get to build with each other. You got to get to know each other, man, and to see if this thing is even worth nurturing a relationship. And me, I'm old school, man. I feel like a woman should know her worth, um, because a woman has the upper hand in my point of view. Every heterosexual man out here want that woman, and some men will give you a financial incentive to get that woman. You feel
All
me?
right. All right.
So, as a woman, it's no need for you dealing with these sorry Negroes that men that just want to have fun with you for the night, because you can wait them out. And a real man, he's going to wait on that woman, regardless how long it takes. He might have something over here on the side, but he gonna still nurture you, because, like I say, that just means more. So that's my point of view on that. Women, know your worth. This ain't free game, but it is free game for the women. Know your worth, man. I hate to see a woman that's out here don't know her worth, and just out here doing whatever to whoever. You feel me? Uh, JT, man, speak on that. How long do you expect to wait to have sex with a new woman?
Probably about, I say probably 90 days, man.
Okay,
I'm gonna
90
do
day
three
fiance.
months. Yeah, I'm gonna do, yeah, 3 months, man.
Okay, 3 months. Okay. Uh, y'all got anything else on that? JT or Al, Duke?
Man, you put the icing on the cake, T. You put the icing on the cake, and I think this can help us all, man. Everybody that's listening that don't have a significant other that's dating somebody right now, want to date, man, listen to us young brothers, man, and go about it with time. Take your time and be patient. Be patient. Anything worth having is worth waiting for, man. So just take your time, man. That's
Well
all I
said. Well said. Y'all are listening to the Sip Slow podcast. Uh, Last week, we had the verdict come down on the Breonna Taylor case. Uh, Breonna Taylor was fatally shot by the officers of the Louisville Metro Police Department on March 13th, 2020. And, all of these cops were uh, white officers. Uh, the Louisville Metro Police Department executed a no-knock warrant to Breonna Taylor and her boyfriend's residence. Once they entered the apartment, they alleged that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend opened fire against them, thus causing the officers to return fire. During this exchange of fire, it's when Breonna was fatally struck. Last week, Brett Hankerson, out of the four cops that came in with the no-knock warrant, he was the only one charged with a wanton endangerment. And this was because the bullets that he shot went into a neighboring apartment where there was three other people in there. So they charged him for uh, you know, being reckless. So at the end of the day, no one was actually charged for the killing of Breonna Taylor. So, Duke, let's start off with your thoughts on this.
Man, bro. Uh Man, this here was very troubling to me. Very, very troubling. Uh, I felt bad for her family, the situation, and just for people in general. Now, I know, a lot of times we take it to a uh, black or white thing. We take it to uh, uh, this race or this culture, this. But when you break this down, and if you do how we all supposed to do, treat people how we want to be treated, put ourselves in other people's shoes, make this experience and what happened to her, and may her soul rest in peace. Make this personal. Now, for those that are biased, for those that don't really want to talk on it, for those that have opinions like, oh, maybe she was at the wrong place, or her dude shouldn't have been doing bad, or she shouldn't have been there. Whatever the case may be, with all of that jabber, think about if it was your daughter. Think about if it was your sister. Think about if it was your mother, your friend, your childhood friend, your loved one, that life was taken just like that, like as fast as you could snap your finger. Her life was taken, and nothing was done about it. In fact, they had more respect for the people that wasn't in the building, in her home, versus her. And I kind of knew that they wasn't gonna do anything. We marched, you know, we marched and we rallied for George Floyd. I marched back for Michael Brown, different ones. And I'm a man of righteousness, and it don't matter what race you is. I just happen to be a young, gifted black man. But this bothered me, man. This hurt me, you know. And it's sad that when you go on, when our lives go on a few months from now, her name is gonna fade. People are gonna stop talking about her less. She's just gonna be another victim. And I just think it's tough. I think it's hard. I think it's sad that nothing was done. And the value not only on a black man's life, but the value on any person's life is not respected, is not honored. I wouldn't want to go take somebody's life, somebody's child's life, a woman's life at that, or anybody's life. So this bothers me, man. And we need to do better as a culture. We need to do better as a people, as a nation, the law system, everybody. We all need to do better. And if you treat everybody like you want somebody to treat you and how you want somebody to treat those that you love, man, we wouldn't have this. And the world would be a better place. And that's pretty much what I got to say about this.
Man, solid.
Man,
That was well said, man.
well said, man, dude.
It's kind of hard to come behind that.
Yeah,
Man, ain't nothing I can really do because I really can't say much on. I think Duke hit all points on every point. And, I was taken back by it, and it's sad that that's the world we live in today. It's unfortunate, but my heart goes out to her loved ones, her family, her friends, and people's lives that she's touched. Um, it, it's sad that we have to keep talking about these type things, but it's good to make awareness of this so that people can understand what's really going on. I wasn't satisfied with the outcome, the verdict, but I wasn't surprised at the same time, meaning that, it's a merry-go-round. This happens all the time. We shouldn't be shocked. We can be upset, but we shouldn't be shocked. And it's sad that it's become the norm. So, yeah, I can't really follow and say much more on that, but I think Duke put it out there and touched every point that explains it to everyone. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
JT.
Too much I can say, man. John hit on the head, man.
Yeah, John put it down. The thing is that like you said, for the people, for the guy to be no one to be charged for her shooting death, but yet and still, only reason you charged this guy was because of he shot bullets into the other apartment. That's a slap in the face. Uh, that's a slap in the
Mhm.
face to the family, to us as a race. Uh, it doesn't make sense. You know, you've been seeing a lot of celebrities and athletes with the Breonna Taylor hashtag, the shirts. Man, how do you think those people feel right now that uh, what went on with the verdict? You know, our own Houston rapper Trader Truth been put in jail because he went to Louisville protesting. And not only that, you had the DA who's a brother. He got up there with kind of a smirk on his face, not knowing that he's just a pawn in the game. You know, they using him to pacify the situation, to kind of, well, you know, look at it. This guy's a brother. He's the DA. He the one presented the evidence to the grand jury. So now, you know, that kind of makes it all right. But it's not all right. Also, every time uh, lately, there's been a lot of these high profile killings with police officers involved. And guess who is the attorney for these families? Uh, Benjamin Crump.
Well,
Crump, man, I hate to say it, but I don't think he's trying to get no justice. All he wants to get is the payout. I can't recall now a case that he's won criminally. Now he might get you some bread. So why keep running this dude out here? To me, he's part of the problem also. He's probably a paid brother that, you know, the man can get. They throw him out there just like a Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. All it is, them Negroes have been dried up and washed out. Everybody know the game that they running. Um, so when I saw that Breonna Taylor's family took the $12 million settlement, this is even before the verdict was even rendered. That let you know right then it wasn't no criminal justice that was going to be administered here. It was going to be, hey, we going to pay these folks off. The family agreed to it. Um, and it was not going to be anybody going to jail. And that's just a tough thing when you have all these people out here, you know, putting on and fighting and marching to try to bring her justice, and this the way it go down. But like Al said, there's really no need to be surprised by this. This is what goes on all the time in America. So it's just a sad thing, and we pray for the family, you know. And real talk. Let me, one more thing. Respect to her uh, boyfriend, because they tried to get the right now the boyfriend is in prison. I want to say in Louisiana because you know they said that he was selling dope, and you know that anytime situations like these arise, they gonna always slander the person that was shot, you know, or the person that was killed, just like they did George Floyd. But they offered this man a deal. He didn't even have to go to prison if he would have admitted that Breonna Taylor was helping him move dope. This man said, "No, I'm gonna take my 10 years that y'all gave me." So salute to that brother for being a
yes,
stand
sir.
up brother and not being a
For
sellout,
real.
Yes,
because
sir.
that's tough when you being presented something like that. So salute to that brother. You know,
Respect.
respect for sure. So you know, once again, y'all are tuned in to the Sip Slow podcast. Uh, on CageOU.com, we saw a video last week where a woman was tased and arrested at a football game for not wearing a mask. The thing is, the officer was black and the lady was a white lady. Uh, Al, what are your thoughts on this video and what did you see?
All right, this one is kind of a tough one. Well, it's kind of almost like a switcheroo, if you will. It's kind of like we normally see the person that's causing the issues and the problems is normally the black, and the cop is usually white, whereas the roles have been switched in this one. I personally don't know what her true intentions were because I'm not her. But in my opinion, this could have had a little something to do with a lot of people don't want to talk a lot about, called white privilege, if you will.
Okay.
And so, I might rattle some feathers here, but some white people, not all white people, make sure that's understood, not all white people, but some white people, I know some personally, that have white privilege and they use that to their advantage in any situation they can. Now, was this situation an example of that? Maybe, maybe not. But it's definitely a possibility. My only thoughts on this whole deal, because I haven't heard the total outcome yet, I'll have to do my research on that. But will she be, well, she was apprehended, of course, but will she be penalized the same way it would be if the roles were switched, where if it was a white cop and her being black? But that's just my thoughts. But we'll see what you guys think on that.
Yeah, Al, from what I saw in the video, you know, the lady just refused, or she didn't even have a mask, and she refused to leave because that was school policy that if you don't have a mask, you can't watch the game. You had the person that was recording, he was upset about it. Like, well, she's just supposed to get a fine. But think about it, a $500 fine or whatever the price may be, that does not that's not worth someone's life, or because we don't know if that lady had corona or not, and people are dying behind that. So like you say, man, a lot of times certain individuals just feel like they are above the law. I go into HEB, and sometimes some of these people won't even put their mask on when you're supposed to wear a mask, and it's like, hey, I don't have to wear no mask. I do what I want to do. And that's a lot of their uh, thoughts on everything. So you had people someone that was around the cop when he was trying to apprehend the lady, and they touching the cop and this and that. Well, what if that was reversed to where that was a black person being apprehended by the white cop, and then one of the black bystanders touching on that cop? Man, that could have went totally left. So I applaud that cop for keeping his composure in that situation. Duke.
Yeah, yeah. I watched the video a few times. I also read the story, and yeah, man, she just was like, no. She refused to. Number one, she didn't have a mask on for whatever reason. Number two, that's the policy. That's the policy for stores, most public places. That's the policy for that school. If you're not gonna adhere I mean, that goes for anybody. The law is consequences for it. And those consequences were for her to leave the premises. Well,
Right.
she refused to leave the premises. And okay, the cop was like, okay, well, I'm gonna escort you. Now she's like, don't touch me. And she went into like a refusal mode. Like, don't touch me, don't put your hands on me. And she was tased. Now, nobody wants to be tased. Nobody wants to be handcuffed. Nobody wants to be humiliated. But all she had to do was just leave, get up and leave. Or go get a mask. Go to the next the store or something. Cover your face up, buy a mask or something. Do something. But I feel like it's crazy because once the story that I read on it now, I don't know if it's don't quote me on this, but she was she was not taken in. She was released and charged later.
Hmm.
She was
Hmm.
released and charged later for disorderly conduct, all of that. But yeah, so I guess once backup got there, she was released. Now that's the story that I read. But at the end of the day, white, black, brown, pink, yellow, green, these cops are out here to protect. Some do, some don't. Some are righteous, some are unrighteous. It's good and bad, everything. But man, just comply. And if you can diffuse the situation and stop it from escalating, you probably can prevent yourself a lot of heartache and pain, or even death. So at the end of the day, uh, just comply and just do what's right. You know, I had one of my mentors, mother, uh, in the gospel. She said when she ride down the street, she don't worry about a cop stopping her, and she don't worry about getting pulled over. Why? Because she says she's going the speed limit. She follows
Uh,
the speed limit. So if you're doing right and you stand out the way, most likely you're gonna be straight. You ain't gonna have to deal with no foolery. So at the end of the day, and on in this story, just adhere, do what's right, put your mask on, man, and obey cops and listen to them, even if you don't want to. That could save your life. And that's all I got to say, bro.
I
Man.
agree with you, dude. I feel like too that the lady was with her should have been taken in. The guy feminine should have been taken in because they always giving him a hard time for doing that, but she didn't follow no rules or regulation, whatever she's supposed to did. But now they giving that guy a hard time, man. They giving him threats to the school about how he handled her, how he
really?
took her down, and he really didn't do
Yeah,
nothing really physical. He wasn't physical with her where he should have been physical with her for not even want to, go put a mask on or go down there with him. They
yeah.
had backup came. Then she told the people she got asthma. She ain't had no inhaler or none. She was trying to say all kind of stuff. So they was just, she went down there with different stories and steady cussing and hollering and stuff. But I feel like they should have gave up, went on put her in the back seat. You know,
Hmm.
giving the man a hard time. Then they say she was calling the names too when he walked it down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Mm.
And it go to what I'll say. It's you hate to say it that way, but it is what it is. I seriously doubt a not only a black person, but any minority would have got the same treatment that she did.
Mm. Good
I,
point.
I seriously doubt it. And but that's the times we living in. That's the times we living in, people. So
that's that's true, T. That's true. And not to cut you out, but to throw this in, I've never seen uh or never heard of a person being detained that was resisting the handcuff being taken off of them and them not taken to jail. And if you add to that, I've never seen once a taser is administered, if you warrant a taser, whenever that taser leave that gun, you're not in compliance. So for her to be detained and tased and not go to jail, that's something right there. That tells you a lot right there. And
Yeah.
that's it. I promise that's it this time.
And when I saw her get tased, it seemed like it was just for, you know, a few seconds, and he let it off because
Yeah.
she was just like, "Why you do that? Why you do that?" You know. So yeah, that I don't think that he used no excessive force. He was just doing his job, and there's rules out there that you have to follow regardless what color you are. You got to follow the rules. That's why they out here. So y'all are listening to the Sip Slow podcast. Once again, fellas, we got a listener email question. This is Crystal from H-Town. She wants to know our thoughts on her asking her boyfriend to marry her. Well, Crystal, I'm old school. I feel like the man should ask the woman. And furthermore, I'll leave it right there for right now and let somebody else speak.
Well, I mean, if you want to marry and just see what he like, talk to the family, take him to dinner, to a movie some and the beach or somewhere and, propose to him and get it over with. Maybe he's a shy guy, or I don't know, but whatever makes you happy, just do.
You new age.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
For myself, T, I'm kind of old school like you, man. So before we go and dive in, I'm just gonna agree with you and say, yeah, that's not her place to do that. But we'll dive in here in a minute. Go ahead, Marks.
Same thing. I'm gonna follow that train, that A train, Al. I believe that the man should be the forefront of the relationship and propose. But I understand her desires. But Crystal, just wait on him. If he good, he gon' do what's right. He gonna propose to you, baby.
Yeah, and let me qualify my answer. I said that because just as a man can prematurely ask the woman to marry him, and sometimes the pressure of that situation will cause the woman to accept. I feel it could be the same way for the man. You know, being that typically and normally the man asks the woman, I think you should just wait until that man is ready, because you don't want to go out there and ask this man and he just saying yes just to make you happy for the moment, but deep down he's not ready. So just to give you a little more insight on why I said what I said, that's why. Take your time. Let it come to you. Sometimes you got to play the long game. But we appreciate you sending in that question. If anyone else have any questions or topics you would like for us to talk on, you can always hit us up at the Sip Slow podcast at gmail.com. And, we'll listen to it and get it on the show. So we're going to jump on in these sports topics. Al, I know you on cloud nine today.
All right.
We all me, John, and JT all predicted we was riding with the Heat to go to the finals, and I think we all said Lakers would come out of the West. So We have now Heat versus Lakers for the NBA Finals for the World Championship. We're gonna kick it off with you, Al G. You know, what's your prediction for this series?
Well, not to break my own by patting myself on the back here, but I did call it again. Lakers in 5-4-1 over the
That's
Nuggets.
that's true. That is true. That
No,
is
but in all
true.
seriousness, let me. This should be a good series, man. I'm a Lakers fan. Of course, I'm gonna pick them to win, but I like, man, Heat have some dogs. So without going into it, I'm just gonna call it Lakers in 6. I think Miami can get 2. So I'm gonna say Lakers in 6. Lakers win 4-2.
I think Lakers. I'm gonna say 4-1.
T, what you think, T?
I'm going Lakers in 5. Um, it was nice while it lasted. It's it's like my Miami Heat is like Cinderella. You know, they had on that glass slipper, but unfortunately, the clock is going to strike 12, and
Shout.
it's time for the king to take his throne back. So we going Lakers in 5. Live and die in L.A.
Mm.
Already. You made me throw up that West, my dude.
All right, all right,
I hit that West.
all right,
with,
uh,
with the left hand.
okay, all
with,
right,
with a little conviction. Uh,
okay.
but
Shout out to Nipsey Hussle, man. R.I.P. You feel me?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was jamming that on the way home, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Always,
For sure.
always.
Real talk. But I think and yeah, we were right on the picks, Miami. Nobody would have thought except Al that Boston would win that series. But shout out to Miami and for making it. And I agree with y'all. I agree with Al. Both sides, except for what I just mentioned, just to give him a hard time. But I think it'll be 4-2. I think they may squeeze out just to make the series a little interesting. They may squeeze out another game, but I'm taking LeBron the Lakers and 6. So that's how it is, and that's how it's gonna be. So
Mm.
Okay. Uh, I'm gonna throw this at y'all, and I'm gonna answer it first. Uh, what team surprised y'all the most in the bubble? Uh, to me, it's the Miami Heat. I think that they benefited the most from being in this bubble, setup. I just can't see them in a normal playoff setting that they would have made it to the championship. Uh, so, Duke, what you think? What team surprised you the most in the bubble, or what team benefited the most from the bubble?
uh, I'm gonna have to piggyback off of that. Agree with you on that. I mean, even when you look at the Celtics, the Celtics were dominant. They a great team. No way under any circumstances or any normal circumstances that Miami would have edged them off in great fashion as they did. Uh,
Hmm.
I'm gonna say Miami, hands down, mudslide.
Okay. Al.
uh, Miami sound like a good pick, but I'm gonna be a little different. I'm gonna ride with the Denver Nuggets.
Mm.
I thought they would be decent, but I wouldn't expect them to get to the Western Conference Finals, and for sure, I wouldn't expect them to come back down 3-1, not once, but twice. Once against the Utah Jazz, and another one against the Los Angeles Clippers. I just couldn't see that happen. So I would say the Nuggets.
Great point. Great
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Well,
JP.
I'm gonna go off there because I was thinking about the Nuggets too. I feel like they had a pretty good season. And
Okay.
what they did, that was it.
Man, so we all got Lakers winning the championship. So, man, we're going to see. Uh, so we're going to jump in this Texans and Cowboys talk. Man, man, 0-3 for the Houston Texans. Your Houston Texans, you know. I didn't see this. I had them coming out 1-2, but man, Texans was up in this game. Matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
and let Pittsburgh come back and get them. So, man, it's frustrating. I'm not even a Texan fan, you know, and I watch these games and I'm like, God damn, y'all just find a way to lose the game. Uh, I just think defensively, the Texans just don't have it. They just don't have it, and you trying to put too much on Deshaun Watson. I want to say they ran the ball maybe 15 times the whole game. That's not winning football. That is not winning football with the personnel that y'all have. And then Deshaun Watson is out here running around for his life. So
Man.
I don't get it. I don't get it, dude.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I normally say, per se, but I watched the
Shit.
game. I flipped back and forward from the Cleveland game, that game, and the Cleveland and the Redskins game. But I actually thought that they were gonna pull it out. They looked decent. They were still kind of flat, but they looked decent. I saw little spurts, saw little things here and there, but you made a great point. You have to establish the running game. You have to have a running game in any type of football, from sandlot, pee wee league, junior high, high school, college. You gotta have a run game, and you definitely need a run game if your offensive line is subpar. Your offensive line can't protect the the infrastructure, the quarterback, the main man. Watson, like you say, Watson runs around. And I'm afraid he's gonna get hurt, and I pray that he don't. But man, he's taking some punishment, some
You're
unnecessary
right.
licks. So yeah, we're one more game down, one more game away from what I predicted, that 0-4. So maybe they could pull it out and reset and get this win. But I don't see it happening. I'm thinking they'll find another way to lose the game, and they'll be 0-4. We'll see. But good luck, Texans.
All
Wow.
right, for me, yeah, again, I worked this weekend, so I didn't get to watch the game. However, I was watching some highlights, and I seen at halftime the Texans led 21-17 to go on and lose 28-21, meaning they didn't score anything in the second half.
Mm.
Total complete shutout. So I was a little high on the Texans. I ain't gonna, jump off the wagon or push the panic button just yet. However, I have to go by the eye test, and the eye test right now it showed that my predictions were way off. I probably gave them a little bit more credit than they deserve. However, I do like Deshaun Watson. I love the offense. But when you're up 21-17 and then get shut out the second, half, that comes down to coaching for me. Because you were able to put up 21 against that same defense that played in the first half. You played them in the second half. Well, why did you not score any points? Well, it's simple. As John and Thomas just mentioned, you got away from the run. Now, why? I don't know. So it's Mike Tomlin versus what? Bill O'Brien.
Right.
That should have been enough said, because me personally, I think the Steelers are overrated. I think they're a decent team, but I think a lot of people still stuck on the old Steelers, the 6 championship Steelers. They're not that anymore. However, they're well coached. So the Texans lost that game due to bad coaching, and that's just what I feel on that.
Yeah, I think they'll get together this week, man. It's gonna take a little time, but I actually got a call, man. They said they got Earl Thomas down there working out for him, so
Nah,
he'll be a little muscle for the defense.
they,
So
the,
I think when you bring him in, he gonna get the defense right a little bit. He gonna get them guys motivated and stuff.
I, that would be real nice, JT. But I just don't see the Texans stepping out of the box, and making a splash move like that. Al brought up a great point, and I didn't even look at it like that. So after half, Pittsburgh went on 11-0 run and closed out the game.
Hmm.
That lets you know that in halftime, one team made adjustments and the other team did not. And I think we know how that went. Uh, they, I'm a Florida State fan, and Clemson is a rival of ours. So I saw Deshaun Watson a lot, and he's a great player. I like him now that he's in the league. I really do. But and I don't like the Texans. I like for them to lose every game. But because they have Watson, I do want them to win because he's a good player. Even though he's from Clemson, he's a good player, a great player. And the Texans are wasting his years by the product they're putting on the field. Like I said, I love when they get beat. I love it because I don't like them, but I do like Watson. I do like some of the players that they do have. But man, you have a franchise quarterback, which is 32 teams in the NFL. You might have 5 to 10 franchise quarterbacks in the league. So you have one of these. Now is the time to build a team around Watson, give him weapons, and protect him first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, y'all not doing neither one of these right now. So until they can get that together, and then they 0-3, and you can look up in the history of the NFL teams that go 0-2, they might have like a 30-40% chance of making the playoffs. Now you at 0-3, I think playoffs are out the window. Y'all are not just in this South division like y'all normally are. Tennessee is the class of the division. I was picking them to beat Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville might split one with them now. So and I might be overreacting, but just from like Al say, I test. That's just what I see. Then we're gonna go up 45 north to Dallas, and they took a L this week out there in the Great Northwest against Seattle. I think the score was like 30-22. Uh, you know, with fans or no fans, that's a tough environment to go up there and play. Uh, and Seahawks, they're a good team, but when you want to be elite, you have to go on the road and win some tough games. And the Cowboys came up short. Duke, what was your observation on that?
Yeah, I watched that game. We tuned in. I watched that game. The Cowboys, they look good. They look good at times, almost identical to the Texans. They played in spurts. They made some wonderful plays. But we all know that you have to play a complete game. You have to play for 4 quarters. Uh, I just think they got rattled. They got a lot of holes that they need to fix, uh, defensively and offensively. Um, uh, I just don't. I don't see anything good coming out of their season either. But now, I will say this: uh, they tend to play with a little bit more enthusiasm in different times, in different situations, in different moments of the game. They seem to have a little bit more fire up under them than the Texans. Uh, I will say that much. But fire alone don't cook food.
All right. All
so
right.
so
Say,
you got.
say that again for the people in the back. Say that one more time.
I'll repeat myself. I said fire alone don't cook food. So
Mm-hmm.
so we gotta add, we gotta put some they gotta put some things to that. They gotta play harder, they gotta play tougher. Uh they gotta wanna win, man. You gotta wanna win and you gotta show it. So I watched that game. It was a decent game, but like I say, they gotta go back to the drawing board.
Okay.
Great points, J. Mark. Um, I think Dallas played a decent game. Again, like Thomas said, fans are not, to go down to play Seattle in Seattle. That's pretty tough. So I can't just jump down on Dallas too hard on that game because you're talking about Russell Wilson, in my opinion, early voting MVP. Give it to that man now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the man threw 5 touchdown passes. I don't have to say nothing else on that. I mean, and not to just talk down on Dallas because I think any team that would have played Seattle, they're gonna have a problem. So it's nothing to hang your hat on or have your head. Well, let me say this: it's nothing to hold your head down when you lose to Seattle in a game of that level. I mean, they were going back and forth there for a minute, but Russell Wilson happened. So Dallas needs to just make a couple of more adjustments, but I think they'll be okay because playing against Seattle, they're battle tested. So if you can hang with Seattle, I see good things in your future. So I think Dallas did a great job, but just can't do nothing with Russell. That's all I gotta say.
Nice. Nice.
Well, it ain't too much I gotta say because I ain't even watch it yesterday.
So, Al, I'm gonna ask you this.
Okay.
The other week, I mentioned, well, the Texans to be they want to compete, want to be an elite team, and then you get, first game you lose by 14, second game by 17, and you said, well, hey, you whether you lost by one, you lost, and that's what matters. So it seemed, maybe I'm taking this wrong, but it seemed like you kind of took a more victory away from the Cowboys going up to Seattle and showing some heart.
Great point. That's a good point. A loss is a loss. So I guess if that's how it's coming off, let me correct that. It's still gonna go as an L on the, record sheet. So let that be known as gonna be an L. But what I mean by that, when you go and play a team like Seattle and playing against the MVP quarterback of the league in Russell Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you lose a game of that magnitude with everybody watching, not a moral victory, but it's something to build on.
Okay. Okay. I got you. Well, we got a big one tonight. Monday Night Football. We got the Chiefs versus the Ravens. JT, who you got tonight?
Chiefs.
Duke.
I'm gonna say the Chiefs, although I'm pulling for Baltimore, but I think the Chiefs are more complete. The Chiefs are edge them off.
Okay. Al.
I'm gonna switch it up a bit. It's gonna be the Ravens. I think they both got two top-notch quarterbacks, two nice offenses. The difference will be the defense. Baltimore has the better defense out of the two, so I'm going with Baltimore.
I'm gonna piggyback there right there with you, Al. I'm gonna go Baltimore tonight. I think for the reasons you said, Baltimore will win. I'm gonna throw this at y'all right quick. You know, if we were starting the franchise today, who would y'all want? Mahomes or Jackson? You know, to start your franchise. Let's start with you, Al.
Well, some people may make this a tough question, but it's pretty easy for me. I would go with Patrick Mahomes. I want to go with the guy that's proven, okay, if you will, one that showed me that he can win in tough situations, uh, being down by 20 plus points or being up by 20 plus points. He still comes back. If he's losing, he wins. Um, Not just a regular season highlight reel. You know, yeah, he do all those nice passes, no looks. That's great. But in the playoffs, guess what? He still holds that same mentality and he still wins. Whereas Lamar Jackson on the other end, highlight reels in the regular season, nobody better. Playoffs, he's 0-2 now. So I don't want to build my franchise on someone that can't win in the big games when it counts in the playoffs, as opposed to a person that's just a highlight man in the regular season. So Patrick Mahomes, without a doubt, not to mention he just won a Super Bowl, so that makes it a little bit more easier.
Man,
JT.
Patrick.
Yeah.
what you
Short and sweet.
what you
Short and
think?
sweet.
T? What you think, T?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes, just because I know that he's more of a pocket passer, uh, and he's got less risk of getting injured by the game that he plays. So
Great point.
I think Mahomes, he can dissect you with his arm and with his mind, and then also he can get out the pocket and stretch the play. So right now, there's nobody better in the game right now.
Let me
Man,
piggyback off that real quick. See that last point you just said? That's perfect. His style of play is better than it's you have more longevity with his style of play as opposed to Lamar
Exactly.
Jackson. So yeah, that's a perfect
Exactly.
point. Yeah, he can kill you with his legs, but he'd rather sit there and pick you apart. And if he needs to, escape, he will, and he don't mind sliding, getting down, or going out of bounds. Lamar Jackson thinks he's a running back. That's not going to last long.
Right. And it's no disrespect to Lamar Jackson, but all right, to answer the question, yeah, Mahomes. Dude,
man, I love them both. I think they both bring, when you look at the dynamics they bring to the game, uh, they are parallel in a sense, and they are unparalleled. I know that's an oxymoron, but if you look at the two, uh, one's more prototypic, and which I'm gonna say Pat Mahomes, my homie. Uh, I'm
my
gonna say
homeboy.
yeah, he's more prototypical. Lamar is more of a electrifying and highlight reel, and that's all good, but you got to have those highlights. And this is my boy now. I love what he brings to the table. I think he's a better version of Michael Vick in some areas. Uh, but I love his game. But I'm gonna have to go with the golden boy, Pat. And I think Patrick is I think he's an amazing player, and that if you go outside of him, you're gonna be you probably won't win a Super Bowl. So I'm gonna go with him.
I'm shocked that you picked him
Why you
because I
shocked?
know because you always a Michael Vick cat, and I know you like that running quarterback deal, and so yeah, I was shocked that you said Mahomes.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about winning, man. I mean, highlights are nice, you know, highlights. It's some cats that had great highlight reels and highlight film, but no recruits, no recruiters wanted them. Nobody wanted them. Nobody,
Right.
so it,
Right.
it the strength of the game counts. What you do when the game is tough, when you're playing somebody that's better than you or like you. The main thing is, which Al touched on, and y'all kind of spoke on it too indirectly. The playoffs, man. When it that's when it counts. So when you add all of that to the scenario, it makes it easier. It makes it a lot easier for me. It's a no brainer. But just off the muscle, I like Lamar. I like what he brings to the table, and I think with time and perseverance, I think he'll end up getting one. Well, I hope he get one. You know,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
just how I feel.
Well, nothing wrong with that. It's sip slow and it's real raw and uncut. So, JT, man, what you learned today?
Oh, how Krista asked her boyfriend out, man. It's pretty strange to me. You know, for a woman to ask a guy.
Oh man.
I agree. I agree, JT. I agree, bro.
Oh man. Okay. Oh, that's how we coming. Okay.
That's how we
Okay.
coming,
Yes.
man.
Okay, Al.
We living in strange times.
Yeah, perilous times, man. Perilous times. Al G.
Hey, John, can you say that one more thing about the fire? Because that's what I learned today, man. I didn't, I learned today that you can't say it again one time.
You can't cook no meal with just fire, man. Fire
That's
won't
right.
do it.
Not just far alone.
All right,
Yeah,
not just
that's
fire
a
alone. You
fact.
Okay.
can't cook no food. All right, that's what I learned.
Yeah.
All right. J Mark.
Man, and it's funny. It's funny. It's good that we asked what we learned because uh, this podcast is about learning and making us better, helping each other and helping others. That's a part of the game. But I'm leaning towards, and I may have said it, but it kind of resonated, it kind of settled and manifested in me. I'm leaning towards getting better. Um, and whenever we're in a situation with these people of authority, whether it's the cops, whether it's your coworker, anybody that's appointed over you, your preacher, your teacher. For women, the man is the head of the household. Just take the low road and be humble enough to listen and to adhere and basically take constructive criticism uh, and be able to follow. To a good leader will always be able to follow, and that's kind of where I'm at today with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I learned that, despite Black Lives Matter and all lives matter, white privilege still matters. That's what
Mm,
I learned today.
mm,
Yeah.
it's real.
So, you know, if y'all trying to listen to us, we on Spotify, we on Apple Podcasts, we on Google Podcasts, Anchor, Breaker, Overcast, Radio Public, and Pocket Cast. So pretty much all of your streaming sites, you can catch Sip Slow every Tuesday. Hit the email up, sipslowpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on IG, Sip Slow Podcast. You can hit my Twitter up, follow me. I'll follow back, Mr. Superman 7748 4488. I'm sorry. And like I said, on all those platforms you can check us out on, please like, subscribe, and share. If it's somewhere you can leave a comment or rate and review, give us 5 stars on that Apple. We would greatly appreciate that. Uh, Anybody else got some social media, something they want to plug?
Facebook, Jason Thompson. And that's it.
No, I don't have any social media. Catch me on the Sip Slow podcast.
I'ma follow that train, that A train. I'm riding with the Sip Slow podcast.
Sip slow. Man, you know, listeners, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all here with us, and we sure appreciate that. And man, y'all already know what time it is. We gonna sip slow, and we gonna live fast.
Sip slow. Sip slow. Sip slow. Sip slow. Sip slow. Sip slow.
Frank Lee, homie.
I'm only sipping it slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Take a sip, I bet it get you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's true, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Only helping you grow. Tell you things that you need to hear, not only things you wanna know. Keeping you up on your current events, I swear the world's so cold. Talking about marriage and sports too. Man, you gotta catch the show. You better believe me. Got Allen T. Weezy. T watching that JT make it look easy. Whenever they speaking about any topic, if I spoke about it, I was really about it. Ain't no front, I was real about it. In my white cup, it got Hen inside it. It's a message for everybody. Now I'm only sipping it slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Take a sip, I bet it get you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's true, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow.